IVM.
I hate going to the bank because my regular bank guy is out of town, so I have to explain everything to this new guy whose name is Dr. Doshi, who doesn't know anything. He doesn't know the kind of money I make, the things I'm saving for, the kind of chair I like to sit on, or even the kind of chai I like to drink. I prefer lassi when I visit the goddamn bank, for example. But no more, because now I have Jupiter. Jupiter is the new way of banking. You open a bank account wherever you want in just a few seconds, literally 7 or 8 seconds. And that's because I take 2 seconds just to stretch. Maybe 5. No messy paperwork or endless forms. Then getting those forms signed by 3 different bank personnel, 2 of whom work in that bank and 1 in some other branch. Oh, the horror. Plus, because of Jupiter, I can just have the kind of chai I want at home while accessing my bank account. I wish they'd done their references about how I don't drink chai, but I'll pretend to. As I take a sip of this chai, life is good again. Just visit the Jupiter.money website to find out more or download the Jupiter app on Android and iOS to get started. Kripaya dhyan dijiye, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen yaar, don't be so conservative. Welcome to Cyrus. Now welcome to Cyrus says. I'm a premature ejaculator by profession. Everything happens before it starts. Welcome to Cyrus says, brought to you by Jupiter, a banking app that helps you master your money. And of course, we are joined by 3 beautiful men, Charlie's Angels. I'm Charlie. I'll introduce the 3 angels in a minute. But first, I just want a little time to myself to rant. And in the background, of course, Rishi is pointing fingers at Silverie and Vinay is making faces and I don't know what's going on. They're like Rishabh Pant going berserk at the end of a IPL game. So what I'll do here is carry on with my rant and pretend nothing of this is distracting me, you morons. I'll talk to the one normal person here, my good Maharashtrian cousin Shreyas. Shreyas, who we call, he has an Irish middle name, Manohar. Shreyas Manohar. Because back in Nagpur, he owns 7 villas. Each one is given out on rent to some underworld person who we will not mention. But I had a horrible moment in the morning. I was dying to, we use the phrase urinate. Parsis like to use urinate, not pee. Pee is very dirty to say. So I was dying to urinate and all 3 bathrooms were being used. 2 are male and 1 is female. There's also an extra one for whatever gender, fluid gender, which we don't go to because I don't know what the pot is like. I tried to get in. And I waited outside because you don't want to knock and wait outside like you're harassing the person. Na? When they come out, you have that awkward eye contact moment. What will I do with that? So I waited and then the flush ka sound happened. Bing! Now when the flush ka sound happens, you know you're in and everything's good. It's just a few seconds, right? About 4 minutes pass before the gentleman whose name I should not say. Because Vinay is very touchy about these things. And he's finicky that he should not be mentioned. He's like the ghost who walks. You don't see him really. And then he comes out after 4.5-5 minutes after flushing. So what does he do between flushing and that 5 minutes in a small bathroom? I mean, how much can you clean? Firstly, your pee-pee should not be that dirty. I mean, it's not like you're peeing on your hands or peeing on your pee-pee. So what are you cleaning? Are you cleaning
I have a theory.
सफर, रास्ते, मंजिल और मुकाम अक्सर ये हमसे कुछ कहना चाहते हैं, पर हम हैं कि अपनी रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में इन्हें सुनने से कतराते हैं। नमस्ते दोस्तों, मेरा नाम है केशव चतुर्वेदी और मैं आपको ले चलूंगा कुछ ऐसे सफर पर जहां आपको एक नया नजरिया मिलेगा, सफर और मंजिलों को देखने का। आइए इन किस्से कहानियों में डूब जाएं, हर मंगलवार और शुक्रवार।
Yes, please. Stop me.
Okay. So
I'll just keep rolling like this.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm not one of those toys that kids, get and I hate those toys. They just go moving all the time. You don't know what's going on till your grandmother does that.
Yeah,
And you're
okay,
like,
that's good.
Why did she die? Oh.
Okay, so my theory is
Yes.
that, sometimes when your morning pressure is such, man, I can't believe we're again talking about poop on the show.
No, you talk about poop.
No.
But give me your logic. I
Morning
don't get
pressure is
logic.
such that one flush is not enough. So you have to wait for the flush to refill.
He didn't flush again. He flushed,
he flushed
once.
only once.
Yeah.
Oh, the second one was he was pouring the water on it or something.
I didn't
don't
even
know.
hear much water sound. Being a pervert, I kept my ear closed. You want to know? I kept my ear close to the door. There was no running water sound. I know back in CnB, all the employees there, after doing whatever they do, spend 15 minutes washing their forearms, their chests, their faces, the back of their neck. They take 15 minutes. I've seen that. But here, I don't know what the hell was he doing. There are a couple of theories. Both are dirty. I mean, perverse and sexual. So I will not go into that. But for 4 to 5 minutes, there was basically no sound, but he's finished flushing and he only peed. I can guarantee you that because I went in next. And there was no after effect of that. And so please explain to me,
Yeah.
kya kiya Vinay bhai? Can anybody explain in the
That's
chat?
Vinay, guys, by the way.
I think my theory is that he was watching something while peeing, which was longer than the pee, and then he just decided
That
to
is a
finish watching.
fantastic theory, Shreyas, and
Yeah.
hence you are called Oh Money Manohar. You deserve every villa that comes your way. That makes sense. What a
Yeah.
stupid idea you came up with.
What? No.
I have to refill because I'm in Panchgani there. I don't need this much water per
Yeah,
guy.
that's what-
No, that's fair.
So water tanks, no, but water
yeah.
tanks only have some water tanks don't have enough pressure sometimes.
Yeah.
For your business in the morning.
Enormous performance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to refill. Yeah, sometimes you have to do like 2 buckets and all if there's no
Actually, yeah, maybe he might be doing it out of consideration so that you have the flush full when you
Yeah.
come in.
So
that
he's
you
now
don't have to
the
wait.
Mother Teresa of
So
bathrooms.
He is.
Yeah.
I
Unbelievable.
really think he is.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
He's very selfless.
Yes, you're another guy. This is a very special human being, and I'm so glad Sriram is not saying anything. I'm so glad because when it comes,
Sriram is just thinking that he
I-
also has to go to the washroom. Abhi tak hua nahi
it looks like he's
I
never
agree
gone
with
to the
two things
washroom.
here.
Look at him. He's never visited
I
the
agree with
place.
two things here.
Yeah.
I agree with two things here. One, I think generally the 90s had better flushes, I feel. Ever since the turn of the century, I think
You're
flushes have
blaming the
an accounting
center.
factor. There's so
You're
much.
saying it's because of government change.
Yeah. No,
You get
I
his
think,
point, his
I
subtle
think
dig at
there's
the
so
government.
much.
Back in the 90s, Congress का ज़माना में अरे क्या toilet pressure था. Yeah.
It was,
Yeah, pani aata
90s
tha.
were great.
Fantastic.
Generally, the
Toilet
the
corruption
flushes
nowadays
were
is
Yes,
also
I
on,
sad.
tell you those
MTV
guys.
Bakra was on.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Sriram. You're far away, so we'll
sorry,
just keep
the-
talking in the middle.
No, sorry, please go ahead.
Please go
Please
ahead.
do, please do. But basically, 90s were better overall. The flushes were great. MTV Bakra was still on.
चोली के
Rola
पीछे
Cola
क्या
was
है?
freely available.
My favorite song.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Still don't have the answer
So
though.
I
क्या है?
had, and I think somewhere around the
Dil
turn
hai
of the
mera.
century, the flush companies
bhi hai.
didn't, or
There are a lot of categories. Sorry, Sriram. We are having another conversation. We'll get back to you. We'll send you a text. No, I'm sorry. I love it because I'm always the guy who's on the outside. No, you see. Yesterday I was alone in my room trying to talk, and these guys are Puneet
Yeah.
and Silverie are having their own jugalbandi going on from time
It's
to
like
time.
it's like
You can't
Cyrus,
get a word in.
Cyrus comes to the studio with a vengeance for the 3
Yeah.
days that he's not in the studio.
It's like it's a minority thing. I only take it out on that poor person
Yeah.
who's in the window, the one guy, whoever it may be.
Absolutely.
anyways, the point is, I feel over the turn of the century, I think the amount of preservatives that we consumed increased so that the poop that comes out is way more solid and it's not going down.
I feel we've
as
taken
much.
this too far now. For all those in favor.
Anyway,
Let's
The second thing that I did want to mention was there are certain people who are extra aggressive outside the poop stalls, where once you come out, they give you a death stare like, how
Yeah.
dare you
yeah.
keep me waiting for so long? And they'll stare you down till the point that you exit the washroom and then they'll
Shreyas is dying to say
go about
something.
their business.
He's almost eating the mic. There's an empathy here which is huge. Bolo.
No,
You've been beaten by the toilet bully a lot.
No, I think I buy that. I think this might be your fault actually, Cyrus. It might be that
Intimidation.
yeah, I think Vinay is scared of you, and Vinay just wanted to be like, okay, maybe if I'm out in
He
like
was-
4 minutes,
he was
he'll
hiding.
find a different bathroom. Because then again, you come in and then conversations start where you're like, oh, how does this smell? Oh,
Yeah,
I saw a wet spot. All these conversations start.
Okay, Vinay sent a text saying I took only 10 minutes in total.
For peeing?
Sab kuch,
Yeah,
sab kuch.
yeah, peeing. For only peeing, yes.
Okay.
10 minutes.
That's outrageous.
No, that means he's got a stone. He's got a kidney stone because it takes a
Yeah.
long time for the pee to come out. 10
Dr.
minutes.
Brocha,
Ah,
back at it.
See, I would prefer
Man,
nurse. So,
so-
Sister Brocha would be more appropriate, I would think. I don't think I'm really a MBBS.
Actually, though, I do agree with Shreyas. I think he's hit on something.
Yeah.
I think Vinay is scared of you.
Yeah.
So he hides in the washroom whenever you're there.
I-
So
I-
he opened the door a couple of times while like seeing if you're still around. You were waiting right
You're
outside.
there,
Like, "Arey,
you're
wapas."
here to the-
Can you,
Yeah, shut it.
can you show Vinay's face because he's
Yeah.
nodding like a Ringo Starr and the Beatles, he's going on like that. I wanna hold your hand. Both the toilet. Now he's saying there were two toilets.
Yeah. So who's in the other one? Is the
There was a
mystery.
lady cleaning the toilet.
Oh,
which I
okay.
don't understand why she should clean the toilet after 9.
Yeah.
Vinay went there before, no?
Oh!
Okay.
Okay, this is a great gag, but Sriram is not laughing. Let me tell you about Sriram, that immediate complex comedian. He never laughs at other people's jokes. So the funniest moment in the show, cracked by Shreyas, has been rejected. But this is a sign there was a great gag. Immediately he went like he's about to, go to the toilet himself.
No, I
Shri?
couldn't follow through. I couldn't follow through on what the gag was. Why was the lady cleaning the toilet again?
Oh, you can't
Because
hear.
because Vinay had just used it previously. So
Nothing!
Vinay is just going from washroom to
That's
washroom.
nothing. Now he's acting.
He's
Nothing.
going from washroom
No,
to
he hates
washroom.
you. He thinks
No.
of you as competition
Shreyas,
now.
that's a-
Proper. He hates
Shreyas,
you.
that's an important.
It's a great
Shreyas,
compliment.
that's an important point that you make because
Yeah.
I think we'd established that. I think Abbas was the one in a previous
Oh, thank God it
episode
wasn't
of the
Abbas.
toilet sagas at IBM.
Abbas is the kind of guy you don't want coming out of the toilet. I don't mean to be rude or something.
No man,
what are
I
Abbas
don't know what you're talking about, Cyrus. What do you mean?
Yes.
What are Abbas's
Absolutely.
bathroom tropes? What like?
I wouldn't go there, but I'm
I mean,
just
why are you going in the bathroom
not to be
with
prejudiced.
Abbas anyway?
Not to be prejudiced in any way. I know, but I'm just when that kind of size comes out of the bathroom, Amit, Abbas, you get a little worried because you know what they can
Again, no.
leave in their wake. All right, listen, guys.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sriram, you've really brought this show down to a Gurgaon level. It was in Walkeshwar, then going towards
Okay, yes.
the early part of Altamont Road, and then now slip slowly to Marol, and then
You know,
the unbelievable. Yeah,
Cyrus, today is the day. I think we analyze the hell out of every topic. And I think today I have a great feeling about. I think we're going to absolutely nail every topic.
Yeah.
You know, do that ideal mix of funny, insightful,
so what you're saying
like
is
NDTV meets
it's a
Republic.
parallel to Man Ki Baat, is what you're saying. What
Absolutely.
Yes.
We are
all the
they're
perfect
only
yes.
direct competitors.
yes, the exact mix
Yeah.
of humor,
Exactly.
levity, intelligence,
Yeah.
profundity. Some childishness. I'm always for childishness and a little bit of toilet
Yes.
stuff, Vinay, because you said you wanted to be represented. And for God's sake, kya karte hai tu 5 minute nikle? I mean, are you finished the
Yeah.
damn toilet? What are you doing? Please tell me.
I
Somebody-
feel the
I
only
can't
next
sleep.
step
This
is that you
opening
install
segment
CCTV
is-
cameras in the bathrooms. That's
And
the
why
only
don't you?
way. That's-
Why don't you? What is the problem?
I agree.
What are you worried? I mean,
mean-
you're male. You've got the same.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
imagine the poor guy who has to sit and monitor the washroom ka CCTV all day long.
Or it's
Yeah.
the job he wanted. you know,
Actually, it's
also-
on only when Vinay is inside.
and Abbas.
Abbas.
and Abbas.
I know that's a whole. I know that's a whole Pornhub category there somewhere, which no one wants to look at.
How
It
dare
definitely
you
has to
bring
be.
down our show by mentioning pornography to a really huge problem? Vinay, we sympathize with you, and whatever it is, we are there to hold your hand. But after you wash it thoroughly for 5 minutes, which you clearly did.
All right, let's get to the topics.
Himisha, where were you yesterday when people were reciting Parsi prayers? What the hell was going on yesterday? We
She
had
was
video-
reciting her own Parsi prayers. She was
she?
busy, yeah.
And so there were some sexist
type.
comments, and no girls helped us. I thought they'd fight and all that. That means that one girl.
They agreed.
Himisha being the
They're
one
not
girl.
very
Yeah. Now, Sriram, you're representing the ladies with that lovely hair of yours. I hope he goes bald
Yes.
one day. He'll be finished.
Man.
So one thing that
I hope Sriraam goes bald
yeah,
before me, which
yeah,
I am balding.
Yeah.
I
great.
genuinely hope as well. I hate haircuts. I think it's the stupidest of all the.
So you
sort of
prefer hair loss to
recurring
haircuts?
tasks.
The first male to actually
Yeah.
put that on record.
Please,
God, I would
please
like
do.
it to go.
Sriraam has done like a buzz cut,
I-
right? You've done like a
Yeah.
like a full
Complete
bald
bald,
cut.
No,
Yeah.
you're mistaking
Yeah,
it for
yeah.
Lionel Richie. It's different.
No,
I've heard rumors that
for
this is
Jada
ac-
Pinkett Smith.
I've heard,
How dare you? Slap him. That was not right. That was not right.
I've heard rumors that you actually wear a wig, Sriram. Is that right? Or
That is.
Also on your head.
Yeah. That,
But just think of it, if you're balding
Yeah.
and you get a little bald
Yeah.
spot there, it'll look like a crow with a crow's nest with an egg inside. There'll be a little white patch and it'll be like, it'll be quite soothing.
I actually
Eh,
have a
very-
friend who's balding right now, but he is not willing to fully shave it because he says that his father will be offended. His father will feel dead. That's the
What?
Yeah,
What is the sense?
yeah, because like you shave your hair after your father dies, right?
Oh, that's a superstition. Now that's a tough one. That's a
Yeah,
tough
yeah.
one because
Then
yeah.
people ask you, people say,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
is it what
Yeah.
happened?
And also you're telling your karma to in a
Correct,
sense. I
correct,
understand
correct.
where he's coming from.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a little weak thinking, but then that's us.
That's easily.
That's just these bald people thinking.
So
That's
on-
how just these
But
weak bald
just,
people
just
think.
on the trimmer, then you instead of the zero, you just go one. No, that's enough.
Your father is half dead.
Yeah.
He is in the
Imagine the dad's
Yeah,
logic,
like-
son. You'd rather I'm
like-
dead or you go a little bald. What are you gonna do?
yeah. Suddenly, Shreyas' friend is just having like his father having near-death experiences all the time. Like the truck just woozes past.
You don't say that, bro. This is a real story. Ours is just little fun. Let's not go there.
No, I agree. I think for the right hairstyle, you have to go to the right length
extreme.
sometimes. I agree.
Oh wow, pun intended.
Fashion,
I like
yeah.
that. That was
For
fabulous.
fashion. You
This
gotta
guy's
go.
genius. Did you get that? For the right hairstyle, you have to go to the right length. I mean, who does it? He's like Shakespeare into 4.
They're
can I
beautiful,
say?
beautiful.
How much do you guys pay for?
Beautiful.
How much do you spend on a haircut typically?
I'd like to take that.
Please.
I paid for haircut and coloring
Yeah.
because I have to color my hair
Yeah.
apparently.
But every time you get a haircut, you
What?
cut your hair also?
I have to because otherwise it becomes white in 12 minutes. So my guy comes up through the pandemic. He's a roadside guy, but
Yeah.
we pay him 240 bucks. And I used to give 20 bucks tip, but now I give chai. And because chai also costs money.
Okay.
So I did the maths and said there's no need to give him tip and chai.
That's fucked
So we
up.
sort of vaguely mentioned कि
I mean-
तेरे को chai चाहिए या तेरे को tip
Oh
चाहिए.
my god.
And he doesn't answer in time.
So this is just your barber or the entire family's barber is this person
No,
on the
no,
roadside?
just me. Nobody
Oh,
wants
this
him.
is-
He's not that loved. Yeah.
I feel you can be more generous with the tip.
Yeah, and also with the $240.
For sure. You were saying it as if it's a
What
very
about
high
a chappi
amount.
or a puppy or
It's
something?
like
What
a-
are those things?
I think then you need to give him more tip after that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
ouch,
not a tip.
Ouch.
Sorry, what was the cost, Cyrus? You mentioned 240 or
It was
240
less. In the
240 plus
pandemic, it was 200.
240.
He's gone up to 240.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're giving roadside.
No, but that's because of the
Barbers,
coloring. Without the
240.
coloring, it's 120 or something.
But Sriram, do you think that's a low amount or a high amount?
It's a bit high for him
I think that's
But-
a high amount.
because
I
but
think
he
that's a
comes
high
to the
amount.
house.
But I think considering who Cyrus is paying, it's a celebrity.
My
It's like a
mother-
big
my mother
guy
pays,
who's
my
paying.
mother pays.
It's,
Yeah, she's not really a big guy, more like a medium guy. But yeah.
Yeah, so Shreyas, considering it's Cyrus's mother, it's the mother of a celebrity.
it's the mother of
It
a
is very-
celebrity. Oh, that's
Yeah,
even
it
a
is-
higher status actually.
For Malabar Hill, it's
Yeah.
true.
You know-
There's nobody there. Yeah.
Shreyas, the barber circle is discussing, the Cyrus his mother.
For my
is
area, it's
240.
huge. I'm like big there. You have no idea. What's his name? Rohan, who looks like you?
Rohan Joshi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's the only other celebrity who was there and left.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now
so
it's just
that's
you.
it. Yeah, that's it. There's no.
Oh, then you can control the market,
Garewal is still
Cyrus.
there, but she doesn't leave the house and nobody cuts her hair.
Oh.
There's no way this guy will be
Ah.
allowed in. And he has to wear white and all that, and then you have to, do the rendezvous and all that. It's not easy.
Tarun,
Yeah, yeah,
Tarun
yeah.
Kaushik
You
has a
have to know
comment.
how to pronounce rendezvous.
Yeah.
For-
Tarun Kaushik has a comment. He says,
Yeah, because it goes really the wrong way, na? Rendezvous. It's really not a good word for Hindi.
Yes,
Let's
I
stick
know.
with English. Yeah.
so Tarun says, I paid $277 for a haircut yesterday. It was 200 for the haircut and 77 for the PPE kit.
But why PPE?
I
kit?
thought it
Tickets
was-
are back. I think I've never had to wear
You
a
must
PPE kit.
think
They
like
scammed
me.
you, I think.
Yeah, and always believe
Yeah.
that you can give the infection more than get it. I
Yeah.
always feel that. I'm very positive about that. I go keep my mouth open. I go,
Yeah.
do all that shit. You just get that feeling of positivity immediately.
So quickly, but Shreyas, how much do you pay?
So I got a haircut 4 days ago in Nagpur. I paid 500 for that,
He
including the
saved
hair wash,
money by going to
including-
Nagpur.
Okay, Vinay
He
also
went
pays
to Nagpur.
500. Oh, you pay 50
But
rupees.
show Vinay's picture, na?
What?
Justify the haircut, Silverie.
You pay 50
Show
rupees.
what 500 rupees gets you. Just
No,
show,
that's
show
50.
the hair.
Corrected. 50 he said.
Now he's saying
Not 500.
50. Rubbish, he's not doing
Oh,
50.
nice.
50, the
How are you
Hajam on the
doing
road
50?
will do 50, but you have to go there. If you bring him up like I do, then you have to pay him extra. And he also
What?
talks.
What sort of mode of transport is he traveling that from down to up it's like a 150
So my
rupee
dad's
surcharge?
attendant who looks after my father who's not well, he takes the bike, picks him up, brings him.
Ah.
Then now we are friends, so we discuss cricket and all that. Cricket is great in India. It brings people together, different parts of the country or classes of society and all that. So we discuss cricket, and then he cuts my hair. And he's learned my
But it's-
rules are very simple. Don't waste time in mirrors. Don't show me anything, but be as fast as you can.
Mm.
And so so that's once we got that out of the way, because there's some artists, failed artists who become hairdressers. Those guys are terrible. And then every 2 minutes they show you the back of your neck, like it's buddy Priyanka Chopra in a swimming costume. It's a freaking back of some ugly middle-aged man's head. For God's sake, what are we going to get out of it? Really.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I
Sriram,
feel-
you
I
won't
feel
understand
mostly
this with
like
your hair.
the hair on the neck, that neck hair, that annoying
Have you
neck
ever
hair.
seen yours?
I
Look at-
feel
because he's got so much
Uh-huh.
normal hair from the head, which is there. It's like a bear. You'll have to remove that. Explorers will have to
no,
go
but
there,
you
get
feel
on their
that, but
shoulders.
you feel it
years
nonetheless.
later. Huh?
You feel it nonetheless, Sai. It's that annoying neck hair, right?
Yeah.
I feel that if you do that, 80% of the haircut is
That's
that.
what they do with the
The rest
razor,
just
na, at
take
the
a-
end. That's their last final over where you have to go for
I feel
all
that's what I
sixes.
feel that's then Sunday I feel lighter in my head. Then take a zero thing and just trim it. I feel that should be the haircut experience.
You cut your own hair at the back of your neck?
No, I would yeah, at the back of my neck I do. Yeah.
Imagine
So that's the
Because
cheapest
I-
haircut.
I-
He's just doing it himself.
He's probably the kind of guy who'd
Yeah.
execute himself also. He's like, I'll do it, my lord. I'll accept the death sentence, but don't bother anyone. मैं ही करूँगा. Tak, 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 tak.
Yeah,
over.
yeah. I basically Cyrus, you also admit we all basically don't like human interaction.
Okay.
So, as a-
I hate human interaction. But the thing is that after
Yeah.
some time, he becomes bearable because he's there. And little bit we started discussing some IPL game or some game at one point. And now we only talk
Ha.
cricket. He never dares mention
Ha.
politics or anything else. Because
ha.
he's hardcore a Yogi fan. He's a UP guy.
Oh no.
And we discussed it once.
Which is odd. Yogi is bald. He'll never get a haircut out of Yogi.
But he doesn't look at it that way. Yogi is nice to hairdressers, generally speaking. He doesn't abuse them,
Oh.
which is nice. in a way. They want to see a picture of Rishi. There's a couple of comments saying, is Rishi wearing a mask? So can you just turn the camera for a second, Shreyas? And can you just show Rishi? He's known as the Indian Batman, and there's a reason why. Low budget Robert Pattinson, as you can see. Yes. He's
The wrong person. That's Rishi.
This show is so bad that after the toiletry antics of one of our producers, now the other one, engineer come producer, unfortunately. Why does he wear the mask? It's a very good point.
I think it's a fashionable thing. I don't think it's it looks fashionable.
Oh, he's like my father when he was young. If he spends money on something, he has to use it. That's it forever. So even if you got a sweater and it's May, no, but I spend money on it, I'll wear the sweater. That's it. You've got to use it. So he's got this mask. They've invested. They bought it on Amazon. So he's going to use it for 13 years until there's nothing left. I think it's fair. Silverie?
All right, please, let's get to a topic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And can you please put the AC on because environment is important, but who cares?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, let's go.
Mr.
Jignesh
Padmanabhan,
Mewani.
are you ready for some very difficult questions and points? Because we've got some huge topics here today.
All right, yes.
I'm
Yeah.
just killing time because we don't have any. But
No, we
anyway.
have
Oh,
got
we
a
do.
We always have topics.
We are
Never
going
give
to
up.
ace it today. We're
So-
going to ace
so-
it. I feel like it's going to be
Yeah,
brilliant.
do a good setup. It's always good because after what follows is anyway a waste of time. So, yeah.
Okay, so Karnataka has just seen the hijab row come about, the halal row come about.
Okay, it's Rao. I don't want to keep correcting you, but yeah. Otherwise, people get thrown.
No, that Rao is
Yeah.
like Aishwarya Rao. you know,
Correct.
like-
It's exactly like that. This language is
Yeah,
very
yeah.
funny. Huh?
If
But
if
row is
anything,
when the
if
people
anything,
stand in a
Antariksh
line.
Rao is also
Or Babur
Antariksh
rows.
Rao is
My
also a
favorite.
popular surname in Karnataka.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's more like a title.
so I
it's
don't wanna
all
get
over- It's all
confused.
over the country.
I don't want people to get confused.
Yeah.
They're talking about, the hijab Rao.
I sometimes call people Rao Saab just as a mark of respect.
It's amazing how he hasn't even finished the setup and we are already
Yeah, yeah.
derailed. It's
Like,
incredible.
like
would you
literally
call a
yeah.
one? Would you
less
call a
than
woman,
one sentence of the setup.
Would you tell a pretty woman? Would you say like, "Hey, Rao Saab"? Would that be a right thing to do? No, no.
If that's the name, yes.
Yeah, okay, I'm convinced. In the meantime, Silverie, what are you talking about?
No, nothing. So basically,
We keep getting derailed
all
in the
these-
middle of the point.
so all these controversies that are going around in Karnataka, all of them have been basically started by this group called the Hindu Jana Jagruti Samiti. Okay,
Why don't they have easy names like
And
MTV?
I don't know.
How are we going to popularize this name when our host can't say it, the guest can't say it? Sriraam
Jana
has given up
Jagruti.
and he's been in Delhi for the last few months. He can't say it. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Correct.
Somebody
So-
talk to these guys. Give us easy names.
Yeah.
VHP, BJP, good names. This
They're-
is damn difficult, yeah.
Exactly. Agreed.
Let's
But
call...
their latest thing
Huh.
is going to convent schools and saying, "Ke, why are you teaching Bible?"
Hmm.
We were just talking about the Bible as part of moral science and all, right?
Right.
And these guys are like, okay, now that is also they're having a problem with.
Yeah.
Okay, convent schools.
So it remains a convent school, but there should be no Bible.
Yeah, no Bible.
Okay,
So see,
clear.
the convent school, the Clarence High School, where they are starting this row from, Rao from,
Huh.
is that they went up to the school and they started accusing the school of forcing their
Converting
children.
people.
Yeah, forcibly converting people or forcing them to learn or read texts from the Bible. But the school is like, dude, this is at admission. We make it super clear. Okay, only if you're fine with your child having to carry the Bible every day to school and it being a part of his curriculum, only if you're fine with that, should you take admission. Otherwise, don't take admission.
But in India, all the schools are run by one religious trust or the other in some sense.
Yeah, and these
that-
guys
that
are
will
also
Yeah.
talking
be
about
dominating your culture whether
Correct.
you like it or
Yeah.
not. I
And
know
then
we have
already-
Parsi schools, like the gentleman on
Yep.
the show yesterday, Vinay,
Yep.
who said the Parsi press, you tend to have a little bit of that. It comes
Correct,
with the
absolutely.
territory.
Also,
Yep.
just 2-3 days back, you were talking about how they are going to introduce texts like the Ramayana and Mahabharata
Bro, but
and the
that,
Gita.
see, jisko jaisa is one philosophy, but sabko, you know, haath dena is a little difficult because then you're going to go through everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I'm saying, see, if it's a Hindu school, do what you want. If it's a Christian school, let them
Yeah,
do what they want.
that's fine. But
Yeah.
if I want to now appease everybody, where do I stop? Because there are smaller minorities and groups.
yeah.
Where do you
there's
stop? They're like,
nowhere to stop.
you won't be able to study physics, so you have to cancel it. We have to put Buddhism in. And,
then-
you know,
so then don't
chemistry is
appease-
gone. Jainism has come now.
So then don't appease
Chinese-
anyone, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm saying no. Everybody just do what they want when it comes to religion. I think that would be the best thing. But
So
I
exactly
actually
like, no,
disagree,
see,
Cyrus.
also this has
Sriraam
been
and
the
I
norm.
are actually card-carrying members of this party, so I would think we should not speak. I think we should stay quiet.
No,
Yeah.
But
see,
also, like-
I actually disagree, Cyrus. I think we should teach every religion out there because I think the byproducts of fine, after chemistry you learn iron.
But I want to increase
iron
the
filings
commandments,
and
for
magnets.
example. I
But
feel
after
10 is too
learning,
little.
but Cyrus, after learning Hinduism, you can start levitating. After learning
True.
Christianity, you can probably start
Be careful.
converting water into wine.
Much better.
Swimming
I
on
was
water,
worried it would be
walking
some
on
sort of
water,
death
and
rattle,
all of
yeah.
that.
Huh. Good,
So
good.
I think
You're
the
so far you're on a good
byproducts of
wicket.
going-
Let's see, sooner or later you're going to jump into the whole of, I screwed up that entire religion with one sentence, and yeah, then we'll see.
No,
more.
no. I feel so. I think if you are going to become a full-fledged religious school, just know that the expectations are higher, because at the end of,
But
say,
if I join Khalsa
learning-
College, I don't expect them to suddenly start doing Parsi prayers. I mean, come on, it's called Khalsa College. You understand that is part of the culture that put together the college. It's not a
which also is
Do you
true at
have
the
a
start
problem
of
growing up
at
with
the
all this?
start of.
Oh, one of our guys just passed away.
Sorry,
Sorry, 2 minutes
sorry.
silence for Silverie.
It's
His barber.
I'm
had
COVID
given
positive.
COVID, double positive.
You are safe.
That's why.
You
Oh
have
yeah,
a
Rishi's
mask.
the only one who say.
And Rishi's laughing the most. What a mean guy. I
Yeah.
wore the mask, so I
Which-
survived.
Yeah, he's like that was devilish laughter. It
Yeah,
really
I
was.
survived the
Yeah, really was.
podcast. He never said you guys should also look after yourselves. So selfish the mask people are, really.
Okay.
Okay, but Cyrus, tell me something. At the start of when you put like your kids into school, did you have to decide? Okay, this is the religious propaganda I'm okay with.
Correct.
them to-
I'm all for religious propaganda, and I'm like he said, like Silverie mentioned also, I'm okay with a little bit of propagating other religions as well, as long as they kill time in class. Because there's some subjects that should not be taught. Like refraction and reflection, two things come to mind. I don't know, I wanted to die that day. I remember the guy starts drawing on the
Yeah.
board, and you're saying, come on, tell me about people not getting along on the border or something and wanting to kill each other. It's much more exciting to hear than frigging two glass prisms.
Yeah.
I want to hear two glass prisms. What are you going to do with that?
I
Where's that going to go? It's not
I
like two
agree.
men
I
in a
think
bar.
we should start banning topics in science that are difficult for kids.
Oh.
I feel that's a popular
They
mandate. People
start-
will get
I
behind
think
that.
so. They start in this very dry manner also. Where are they going to go with it after that? Where do you go? How do you make it interesting? Let's balance valencies.
I think-
How many people jumped up and said, yes, ma'am, Mrs. Sharma, please, for next 4 hours, I want to balance valencies.
Also, integration is banned. Only differentiation allowed. That's why the
Because
country's
that's
headed.
because
Yeah.
that's what you understand.
No, because unity and multiculturalness is gone now. So
Okay, so
everyone
it's
has to be different.
He's not
So-
being
Oh,
cynical.
nice.
He's trying to be
Okay,
logistical,
okay.
practical approach.
not
Am I
not
right? Am I
yeah,
right? Yeah.
not mathematical, practical. Yeah,
This is a man who's a palmist by profession. So remember,
Yeah.
he's very practical.
Yeah,
He
correct.
knows no chick is coming into his life, and he might as well, stay with the history of the. Well,
Exactly.
let's go back to Sriraam in Gurgaon. Sriraam, how's your dating life in Gurgaon at the moment?
I'm seeing him next week. That's how it's going.
Oh, great. Picking up.
I've taken a chastity vow, whatever they call it.
You
until
didn't take a
Shreyas doesn't
chastity
come
vow. You're in
now.
Gurgaon. You put a tight pant and you hope it doesn't come off. That's different.
Yeah.
But
no
Sriram,
dating
do you
life,
ever
yeah.
get
I mean,
do you ever get harassed in Delhi from the back where people think that you are a woman?
I was about to ask
actually?
the same thing because there are, growing up, you see these guys with long hair. How many times you made a mistake?
Have you been catcalled ever from the and then you turn around and then you dog call them? Like, has that happened ever?
I have been sort of done the, but then after that someone was like wallet kidhar hai, so I felt like I
But when
mean,
you
you're
turn
only in it
around-
for the money.
When you turn around,
I thought I had something going here.
You
so,
could have
huh.
paid me by GPay then also, man. I wasn't like just wallet. You could have I take all
I
forms
just
of payment.
I just felt curious if it wasn't for the cash, it wasn't like authentic.
but when you turn
GPay is like
around and they see your
sexting, huh?
face, are they happy or are they unhappy? How does that work out? Having cat called from behind and thinking you're a beautiful woman, etc. Then you turn and what's the
Huh?
reaction then?
After that, I think the reaction is mostly like, "Wow, this guy's as poor as us." Like,
They ask you to join the gang, and then you go to the
Yeah,
convent school
yeah,
nearby
yeah,
and
yeah.
demand that the Bible
Yeah.
not be taught. Okay, so it's all
Yeah,
making
yeah,
sense. He's in the
Yeah,
right group.
yeah.
Shoaib Bakshi
how
asked,
many times have
Sriram,
you-
how many times have you
Hmm.
been called Malinga or Zakir Hussain?
Malinga a lot of times because I think that's like the most go-to thing.
Zakir Hussain
Hussain,
out of
no, but
the-
I would really be like to call Zakir Hussain because I think he's fucking amazing. And,
And Malinga is
not that
useless.
Malinga is not amazing.
Complete
but-
waste of time. Yeah, well, Sri Lanka is almost drowning. One of their great icons, and you just make fun of him like he's nothing. Do you
I
think it's
just
easy
feel-
to
I
have?
just feel like-
Do you think it's easy to have
I don't-
rust-colored hair when you're 18 and you come from our part of the world? No, it's not easy.
but I just feel I don't respect cricketers that much. I'm just tabla players.
But what about hydrogen peroxide? Shouldn't that be something you look up to? I mean,
Which is
the-
what
the
which is what
free ball-
Malinga
when he went
has in his
blonde the
hair.
first time, I took years to recover. Really, yeah.
I mean, I also like Malinga. It's like sort of I generally I feel like Sri Lankan bowlers. I think they are always on the edge of like, are they legal in terms of deliveries
And now
or not?
I could make this
Wow.
political because his name is Sriraam Padmanabhan, but I'm going to let it go. I'm not even going to go into that space at all. I'm just gonna
Delegitimizing
leave it.
people of other faith. That's
Yeah,
Sriram for
yeah,
you.
yeah.
What else?
Let it go, bro. Really, we thought we were enough trouble.
But yeah.
He's going across the border to cause more trouble. Who does that? Really? Oh, bad comedian, bad boy. You're a bad man.
Okay,
Papa
but
says in
hey,
science
thanks
level.
Nikita for the comment. But okay,
But
what's
what did
the
Nikita
sort
say?
of
I didn't see
answer
the
now?
comment.
Nikita says, I think Sriram's hair is awesome.
Wow. And Nikita is generally a girl, except in Russia where it's a man. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking Russia.
And that's where the catcalling again, Russian catcalling right there.
There you
But
go.
okay, Sai, okay,
Uh.
tell me something. But what's the propaganda that you picked for your kids? Like, what's the also a secondary question is how long did it take for you to realize that your school is like backed by some
Oh God, I thought you were asking how long did it take to get kids. You know, like, I don't know how to answer that question. I mean, that guy takes 5 minutes to after flushing, and you're asking
Yeah.
me this question.
No, but in your school, like I realized this after coming out of school, like I think about like 3, 4. Oh wow, that was what like the goal of the school was that because
Bro.
mine was like a RSS packed school.
Yeah, but mine, I was in cathedral school where the poor go, and then I went to Xavier's College where the poorer go. And I got to tell you, there was no question of all this till the bloody 93 happened. And 93 happened in our last year of college. Suddenly there were people fighting in my class. There was one Kashmiri boy fighting with one guy from Baikala, and they were just having a scrap over something, and it suddenly became religious and regional. And I was like, what happened to us? 10 minutes ago, we were looking at chicks saying, look, there are 90 girls and 10 boys. How hard can life be? How did that change? You know, and then suddenly 2 of these boys are busy fighting each other, which I told the others, now it's 8 and 9. Look at it from the right side. But yeah, so they hijacked our lives in 93. Until then, it was a smooth sailing. I don't remember any. This is much before you have talked to your grandparents. I don't remember any kind of friction, honestly, growing up between communities. It was always over issues you fight and all that, but I know nobody fought. We teased each other all the time about religion, regions, where we come from and all that. But it's all fun and games. There was just no anger, no malice.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, I'm scared to make jokes sometimes. Don't judge by this show. This show is really bad.
But I get what you mean. Like, absolutely. Like,
It suddenly changed. After 93, it started becoming a little... So then you have to be careful.
no, but I think, but for us, as far as for me personally, at least, I never like encountered that during my school days, and also it was
Do
perfectly.
you ever
like,
remember
integrated.
thinking Hindu, Muslim, or upper caste, lower caste, or this
like,
name, that
not
name?
thinking-
See, if you're Hindu and upper caste, you're not going to think
Exactly,
of it because
that's
you're
what-
already advantaged.
Yeah, we're already
you're
pretty
already
privileged.
privileged.
Yeah.
You are not seeing the other side of it because
That's true.
status quo, it just requires you to think about nothing. You just continue living and you don't see the
But Sriram
inequalities
is
in the
exactly
world.
as you described. Look at the way he puts out his body and face and all. Like he's suffered for the last 40 years. He's like some modern day prophet who's trying to save humanity. Look at him. But you're right. He's the privileged one.
It's my Simi Garewal.
Yes. And God forbid she lands up like this. Because it'll be very tough to cast her in any project forthcoming. Yeah. But
I do feel like on the flip side though, I think Bombay is on the other side of the spectrum. I think like we don't want that. I feel that's why my theory that every city should have one riot at least. Go through that. Then you realize how all of this leads to some rubbish ends, and then you start to coexist as a multicultural city.
also, I think people have to have little more on their mind. For example, I don't think I'll do well at a riot. Because you don't think it through.
Not at all.
In the riot. After some time, you're hungry.
Yeah.
They don't organize food.
They
What are you
don't.
going to do?
No.
No, you can raid the shops you're breaking down.
No,
of
bro,
course
they
you can.
don't like that food.
Why not?
That's the reason I'm rioting.
Samosas are
no?
everywhere. Okay.
All samosas aren't good, brother. This
No,
it's not the
but
secularism.
I mean, if you
yeah.
just want to feed
Some
your
food
hunger,
sucks.
you just want to feed your hunger.
Then you can eat
of
your fingers.
hunger.
What's the point of that, bro? No.
By the
I
way,
refuse.
on a side note, I think most Sri Lankan bowlers are picked out of a riot because you can see their action. It's just not legal.
And they're mostly right-handers, is what you're saying, when they throw things. and all that.
Exactly.
I can't
Yeah.
think of two lefties.
I
Fair
mean,
enough. Okay.
I
Thanks
mean,
for that. That
the
was
weird
beautiful.
part is, like, although like I'd say
People
like
have
the
stopped listening,
Pacers are
Sriram, but
picked.
there's no point now.
Just to clarify, the Pacers are picked from the Sinhalese side, and the spinners like Muralidharan from the LTT side. So
One
I would say-
Tamil-speaking guy who changed the country. One. Okay, that's it. Now calm down. All right. Tikshana, for example, if you watched him yesterday in
Yeah.
a yellow shirt.
Yeah,
In a
great.
yellow shirt.
David
That's
Reyes,
peace and
yeah.
love, brother. That's peace and love. That's harmony. As the Chinese say.
Actually, oddly like no one remembers Chaminda Vas. He had the cleanest action of all of them.
Everybody in a quiz show remembers Chaminda Vas because the question comes up. Who is the
I
name?
know the full
7
name.
He knows. And as we go into break, ladies and gentlemen, this is unbelievable. Up pace karte hain.
Even
The
I know
golden
the full
voice.
name. Yeah, it's Chaminda Vyas.
Varnakula Surya, Penta Bedinge, Ushanta Joseph Chamendavas.
I touch your feet. Unbelievable. Actually, Rishi's clapping. Finally, respect. Huh? Finally, respect. That's fantastic.
That's wrong, actually.
No,
Only that name
Silverie's
sounds like
called-
a party that will start a riot in Karnataka. as well.
Silverie's saying the action was wrong, but I think it was all
Yeah,
good.
action was wrong. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
But I thought
Let's
the
take a
quiz
break.
question
Before that, we
was
have
7 for 37, right? Chamindavas?
Yeah, correct. Well done. Thanks for digging that up. 7 for 37. Your point now is we'll discuss all the great figures of all the great bowlers for the next half an hour and keep the
Yes.
audience riveted in their place. Okay, done. But before that, we have to take a
Yes.
break.
But before that, we have
Yes.
a Jupiter segment to do.
Oh, lovely.
So this is the part where we every week do a fun improv game about
Oh,
a
wow.
prompt or a cool prompt.
Huh.
And today the prompt is losing your debit card is like ... And for
Was it
instance,
Losing your debit card is doing maths tuitions with Mr. Doshi, my teacher. It was very, very painful. And he always reminded me how much we owed him. You know, that's the only way my maths improved. He actually would tell us, your mother has not paid for last 2 turns. Total bill is 110. 55 और 55 110 होता है. And so my addition and my normal maths, very good. Mr. Doshi. What was on the paper, मेरे को कुछ नहीं मालूम. I couldn't figure anything out. But I remember how much he charged all the time.
nice. Okay. Losing a debit card is like losing a relative that still owes you money because
Huh.
damn it,
What?
you still owe me money, man.
Oh, this is like a bad
Huh.
erection, bro. What's going on here, bro?
Yeah. They still owe me money.
I agree. I can see that feeling. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sriram, I think you're stuck in that riot
Lu-
still. What's going on? Get yourself out. Get yourself together, man. Oh,
I think
debit card
Lu-
is like calling your dad. That's a good one.
That's also fair.
If your dad's
yeah.
dead, only then.
Why?
You know what I'm saying? Your
Is it
debit
not
card
dark
is
enough
lost.
this country? Is there
Debit card is
need
lost.
that kind of, I mean, why?
Losing your debit card is like losing your dad.
Yes.
That's what he means.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sriram,
Losing as in,
Sriram,
like,
this
he
is a
can be
very hap-
lost in the world.
This podcast
Like
is a
he's
very-
been kidnapped.
No, this is a very
I don't know, he's missing.
Bro, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna is a very happy place to be. Everybody chill. Where's the chillam? All good here. Oh my God. Himmel, schnell. Going back to Commando Comics,
Yeah.
that's what I was raised on. So I know basic German. Thanks to Commando Comics. Comics have done a great thing. Where were we?
Losing a debit card is like
Losing your debit card is like, peeing after 40. It takes a little while to start to get anything done, so it's a really difficult thing. But you guys don't think it's going to be easy. Huh? As you cross 40, these small things. Now Vinay is under 40. Hence I started the show with a question. He's too young to have problems. If that was a problem, I have no problem. I understand that गाड़ी start नहीं होता है, उसके बाद बंद नहीं होता है. Both it's a horrible torture because both ways you don't have proper control. But so that's fair enough.
right.
Sriram,
Let's do
my
one
points
more
are
each.
taking too long. You'll need to come in quickly.
Okay, losing a debit card
okay.
is like losing the keys to your house because now you can't get in. It's like, and the house stands for your bank.
But you have 6 houses.
Yeah, so I
In
can't
your
get into
particular
one
case,
of them.
क्या फर्क है?
I'll go to the
But
other
it's
bank.
a
I'll
mom
go to the
or
other bank.
Cyrus.
Who's the cook in apartment 17B? It's like that.
No, but Cyrus, the problem is Antariksh has one key for all of them. So
Sriram, you're making fun of Punjabis. I don't like that. Sri Lankans are one thing. This is our people.
Yeah, man. What the hell?
Is that true? That would be hilarious, man.
yeah.
One key, 6
Yeah.
houses.
Well, I have like 2 keys at home, one for all the cars and one for all the houses.
I think losing your debit card is like having Muralidharan dropped because people said he bowls a no ball. That's exactly what it's like.
So you guys, that 7 for 37, Chamindavas, Murli, 5-7 years since
Yes.
retirement, you want to stay there, right? Okay, fine, great. Losing your debit card is watching Jeffrey Boycott take a guard before batting, huh? I'll predate you, bro. Watch this. Before debit cards were invented, I'll go to Chris Taveray, I'll go behind, I'll go to Jack Hobbs. तू क्या करेगा अभी? Jack Hobbs. नाम तो सुना होगा ना? Jack. Bro, what about you?
Okay, last.
You're still stuck with your one key.
No.
पूरा पवाई मेरा है.
Damn it.
मगर
नहीं
चाबी
बच-
एक. घर 1500. चाबी एक.
oddly, when Antariksh loses that one key, he has to go to that one like
Oh, God.
duplication guy. To,
Yeah,
like,
Losing a debit card is like losing your spectacles because now you can't do half the things that you could earlier.
I prefer the other one where you're searching for the wrong.
No, I forgot. I lost my spectacles. Then I lost my keys because I couldn't find my spectacles.
Yeah.
So it's all like a accumulative.
I actually
effect,
think losing your debit card is like losing your eyes because you can't do all the things you can't do. What can you do without
But
a
you know
debit
that
card?
thing is true about the ladies, and Himisha, please don't scream at me. But the first time I watched my wife open a bag when we had gone out somewhere, a fancy bag, to take things out to get the house key. It only takes 16 minutes.
Yeah, it does.
Because there are 10 things inside, she doesn't know what they are, and all. I mean, man would never do that.
No, but also I feel you should be grateful that if you need any of those 10 things, those are there always.
But
You
I-
need pads, they are there.
That's
you need
true.
anything,
And now I
they
do
are
need
there.
the pads.
But
more than the key.
What if you're in a hurry to get home, man? Like,
But the pads are more important if I'm in a hurry. Yeah, he's right.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, now
Okay.
I think we've done enough. The sponsor's already saying he might back out. So let's not push the envelope here. Yeah. Sriram is eating and drinking like he's on a... Are you on a holiday today?
no. I just breakfast. That's it.
Okay. Obviously drugs, right, bro?
For sure.
Oh, for sure.
Some
All right.
drug poha that I see there.
Okay. We have to take a quick Jupiter money break while the poha is being consumed. And when we come back, we'll have some more to talk about.
I just want to say that if it takes 7 seconds
Five.
to open a bank account,
5.
here's a math question for all the listeners. How many bank accounts can Vinay open in his 10-minute washroom break?
Let's go
We'll
to
discuss
break.
that after the break.
And
yeah.
please give us your answers. You'll get fantastic rewards. Basically, we have a system where you get 1 point per right answer. And then over a period of 15 years,
Yes.
we will be able to come back
Yeah.
with Chaminda Vast-like figures. 7 for 37
Yes.
when we come back. All right.
That's
Break.
our new crypto.
There you go.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Says, the real-life Suryavanshi Vishwas Nagare Patil joined CP Law & Order, talks to Cyrus about his new book, Head Held High. On Paisa Vaisa, Anupam talks to Anusha Ramakrishna and Anisha Dosa, co-founders at Jiffy. They discuss the concept of earned wage access and its benefits. Hans Vani completes 100 episodes. Listen to this inspiring story of a boy's struggle called Shambuk, Platform or Pilla. On The Habit Coach, Ashton shares tips of how we can make our lives 10 times better. And on All Things Policy, the Takshashila folk analyze China's recently announced National Computing Network. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. Also, please don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms you're listening to us on. And remember, you can always check us out on YouTube. We have a number of channels. You can go to ivmpodcast.com/YouTube to take a look at what those channels are. We're also doing a small listener survey to understand how you respond to our shows and the advertising on the network. We would really appreciate it if you could spare a few minutes to fill it out. It really helps us build better shows for you and understand what you're looking for from advertising and what we can talk to advertisers about who you are. Please go to ivmpodcast.com/survey. It really would help us out. Thank you so much. And finally, would like to thank our sponsors for the network this week, SBI Life Insurance, India Water Portal, and Jupiter, a digital banking app. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Wow, we were just discussing manscaping, Sriram? And I just
Yeah.
realized it's not for you because your hair on the head is like that. So
Yeah.
God knows how it percolates. I mean, chest, back, etc., etc. I mean, there's no end to it. I mean, frankly speaking, I was a big fan of the bear.
You know, I
As
just
an
quickly
animal.
want to say, a few months ago, I actually got a boy-zillion.
What's that?
Okay, we have to discuss
Oh,
this.
okay, wow.
Sorry, ladies.
Oh, wait.
Nice.
The
So
two ladies
not a
who are on the
Brazilian,
show.
but a
So
boy-zillion.
we have to figure this out.
A
So what is the
boy-zillion.
difference?
Oh,
Please
yeah.
explain the whole thing
It's a
with pictures.
it's a Brazilian wax, but
Oh.
for a boy. That's called boy-zillion.
Oh.
That sounds like
I
a
thought,
pedophile.
Really
I
sad.
thought you
Like,
got,
I only-
a zillion boys
The
by
mo-
yourself.
Silverie, the moment he says, I only do boys, that's the time when
Yeah.
you take your kids and run.
Yeah.
What
I
is
think
that?
he. So basically, I think what I thought was he had been like killing off a lot of boys,
Oh.
and this was a zillionth
So-
boy.
so you went
He
for the
killed-
option which
he
is
was
actually
boy-zillion.
worse than mine.
I
Okay.
got my boys zillion.
Yes. So what the hell is it?
But so
What do you mean by boy? Like a kid?
no, no,
No,
no, no, no,
like
no.
the Brazilian wax.
The
thing.
Brazilian
Yeah.
wax that you get that
Yeah.
I got
It's
on
boy-zillion.
myself.
It's
So
called, it's called a boy zillion.
when you get that on guys, it's called a
Oh,
boy-zillion
it's
wax.
the gender change.
The
in
gender
in the
change.
name.
I
Oh,
mean,
is it?
he just got a Brazilian basically, man.
Well, why
not
can't you
that.
call it bhai-zillion?
Is there-
To
is-
Indianize
yeah.
it further.
That's true.
And make sure the center is approving.
That's
we say
true.
bhai-zillion because boy-zillion sounds very
It's a little
Western.
amateur. Yeah. I agree.
And then Mulayam, if he was Prime Minister, would have said no. He was very anti-English, by the way. In fact, the only words he learned in English was BJP, unfortunately. Where were we? Sorry, we went to Mulayam from manscaping. What's going on with the show? So why did you get the boy? Oh, this is a good question.
Yeah.
Somebody has to ask it.
Correct.
Why did you go for the boy-zillion beta?
Because I was talking to a friend, and the friend was like, "You never know what it takes to be a woman. The kind of pain that a woman goes
Why did you
through."
give birth?
If I had that option, I would try it. If only for a day, not for the 9 months. I can't do the 9-month thing. If I had like a couple of days,
Take a mango out of your rectum and just see what
Yeah.
happens.
Let
Yeah.
someone kick you down the
Yeah,
head
exactly.
for like
We have
9
ways.
months.
We can show empathy in many ways, guys. We can really.
but actually there was so much pain
So,
involved with
her point was pain.
her point was pain, and I was like, I'll do it. I was the one who.
But you got
initiated.
anesthesia before doing
You know,
vaccine.
I think the dirty boy was expecting her to do it. This is something fishy. This weirdo.
Yeah, you do it, I'll do it. That's
मैं
right.
भी करता हूँ. So then what happened?
Suddenly, we all know where Shreyas' 500 rupees went.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
500 involves everything. It's a whole thing.
I don't know about your social lives, guys, but at least there seems to be some dynamism involved. Look at what they do. They have arguments, and he says, "I'll shave off my pubes." I mean, who does that? I mean, that's fantastic.
I love it. I love it.
And you know, I enter there, and there's on the
Enter where? The
I-
salon.
the salon, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. And they are. I thought they'd be like, oh, a guy, but they're like, yeah, what's up? You're the third guy we had today. I was like, okay, all right.
Female or male?
It
Guy,
was
he
a
said.
female. No, it was a
Oh, okay.
female.
I would prefer female. I
Oh,
don't want a
right.
man around that area. Nothing against men liking men, but you know, I mean,
It was a
it's all good.
it was a female. She told me to take everything off. So
Ah, the words I always hear.
I took everything off, and here's where I did the thing that I sort of shouldn't have done. I also took off my shirt. There was no reason for me to take off my shirt.
That's Rahul Bo's story. I'll tell you the Rahul Bo story after this.
But I was like, I'm taking
Unless-
everything else
unless
off. Why do I
Shreyas
need
got
to
his
put the
shirt,
shirt
yeah.
on?
Yeah.
So I
Unless Shreyas, your like pubic hair went all the way from
Hey, but hello.
No, and
It's
she was
okay.
fine with you removing her pants.
Yeah.
The minute you removed her shirt, she's like, no, put it back on.
So basically, you got to bench more. That's what she was trying to tell you, huh? Bro, hit that
The
bench.
spindly arms coming up.
So then what happened?
So I did this
Antariksh,
entrance
after that,
and
Shreyas takes off his after that Shreyas takes off his mask. Like, oh my god!
Hey, Rishi, is that your story? According to Sriram, you got a boy-zillion and now you can't show your face again. Okay.
so I go in, and on first impressions it's nice. It feels like a massage because there's a mirror on which it says breathe, and I'm like, oh,
But
that's
they
cute.
put a gel, na? Like they do
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Oil,
offense.
So that part is fun because that feels like a massage, and you're like, oh, this is nice. And then they're like, okay, because then there's wax. Okay, then there are strips that are put.
Does she talk to you? Hi, beta, and all that. What's the conversation?
She was trying to do some small talk. She was
Like,
like,
what? I would love to know because they're playing with your genital area.
It
to
sounds
shave
like
you.
so-
What's the
It
conversation?
sounds like you're about to get a massage. Not.
like, hey, did you hear? Bajaj Auto is $175 a share. I mean, what would be the conversation? I have no idea.
she talked about
The
Jupiter.
weather is nice today.
She talked about Jupiter Bank actually. That was like a plug there.
Oh,
that
wow.
she was doing for
You're
Jupiter.
on the line,
Thanks.
brother. You're on
Thanks.
the line.
But thanks, eh?
But I think she was just
Jupiter's
asking me like,
everywhere.
so you do comedy? What do you talk about? So it was
Whoa.
I think it's awkward if it's just me screaming. So that's why you have to
So
add
she
some more.
wants-
You said
sounds.
I'll do comedy about this now.
No, one second. What he's doing by action is pulling out one hair at a time.
No.
Why do you have to go to a special
no, no.
salon? Any idiot on
It's
the
not
road
one
will
hair
do
at a
that
time.
for you. What is he saying?
No. There's a wax strip. Okay.
Correct.
There's a wax.
I've been hair wax on the legs and arms. I know that.
Correct.
So that's painful enough, right? Like
Correct.
a rug.
But there are like 4 layers of that done. Like once that's done, there's one more.
Why?
Because it has never.
She's just mean. There's no reason. You remove the hair. I'll do it again.
Although I like this is the new improv game we should play. What
Yeah.
are the questions that she asked Shreyas?
Yeah.
Like, Chaminda
It's a
Vasa's
very
full
delicate
name,
area
at
to
that
be having a
room, like,
conversation.
how-
I want to know.
yeah.
She actually told
Yeah.
me to take a break. She was like, you know what, I'm gonna bring you some tea. You relax, talk to a friend or something because you clearly seem like because it was
Aroused?
very painful. No, it
Oh.
was the
That's
most.
the other problem.
You could.
I
mean,
wanted to
you
give
could.
up. I wanted to give up midway, but she was like, now you have done it like halfway.
So you were basically
now.
uncomfortable and unhappy.
I was. It was a lot of pain. It was more pain that I had ever had.
After the 4 layers, is it off the hair?
It's off. It's fully off, and the post
And is it pain?
afterwards, no. Afterwards, it's amazing. Afterwards, sensation is great. You feel like you're wearing your skin for the first time. You know, it's like you have been wearing. It's like you have been wearing clothes.
He's advocating the whole country goes boy-zillion.
Why didn't you just
Yeah.
manscape?
But
Because you want you want to feel like
One sec.
the pain of a woman. Yeah.
Manscape is with the razor.
Razor, yeah.
That's so dangerous, brother. Are you nuts?
No. You get razors for manscaping now. They're very safe now.
And no cutting happens?
Yeah, no cutting happens.
Not like in my day.
no, I just
No.
I just
My
wanted to
friend
go.
Deepak is now Deepika. I mean, I told him, bro, I like Jeanette, but just think about it, bro.
I just wanted to go to an
Don't
art.
drink and shave, guys.
I wanted to
Lesson
go to
for
an
the day.
artist. You know, I don't trust. I'm bad at arts and crafts, so I don't
So
trust
you go to
myself.
a tattoo artist to remove your pubic hair.
no, like a hair removal artist. I feel they are artists in some way because it's.
So who was this
Okay,
person?
I have a question.
Oh,
I have
this
a
is not the right
question.
place for that.
And I want to know what the women's perspective is here.
There's
as
no
well,
women on the
depending
show.
comments
Emisha
is-
came in for 1 minute,
if-
never came back.
Okay. After the few days, after the manscaping and what Shreyas said, it's like wearing your skin for the first time, feeling. Then, like the small shoots start to come in, and do they prick like they like?
No, actually
What
they
are
are
the
choice
they,
of words
actually
within
they are
Shakespeare?
softer. Actually they are softer because they are coming
But they
up
must
from
be
like a
giving
new
you an
base
ointment or
completely.
something, na, to keep it.
Yeah, but for like, there's no really after work, like aftercare. There's nothing at all.
And you
It's,
save on shampoo and conditioner. I mean, so there are plus points.
that's true.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
true.
for Sriraam, I mean, there'll be a lot of saving.
But
yeah.
you know, after that
Yeah.
happened, I realized the pain that a woman goes through, and after that, I decided that I
So
really, I
there's a
really
lesson.
started respecting women who get bikini waxes.
So I
Okay.
think
So now you get
huge
boy-zillions
lesson.
every week.
No, Silverie, all men have to do the boy-zillion to understand women better. I think he's made a very strong point here, and I appeal to the government
Yeah.
that in
Yeah.
between this Russia-Ukraine thing which is going on, we just step it aside for a little bit. We all go and get boy-zillions done, and big piece.
Would you do this? Get this done and record yourself doing it?
Depends on the
I mean,
conversation.
record from the side. you
The
don't know what I'm
girl's
saying.
conversation, I'm not impressed with that. I mean, she needs to look after me properly because I'm not very happy. If I get into Shreyas' mindset, I'm feeling unhappy and anxiety and all that. I don't
That's
want to
nice.
call a
That's
friend.
right.
I have no friends. That's why I'm
Yeah,
here. Because if I had a friend, I wouldn't be doing this, right? Because
You
my
know,
friend
one-
would be like, "What are you nuts? Don't go there."
One thing she also was talking about was that she was like, "Do you think you would want to host a podcast about this?" Because she was just like, "This needs to be normalized more." So I pitched her something where like you ask men uncomfortable questions while they are being waxed, audio only podcast, and the tougher the question, the more painful the strip.
So here's the plug. You want your man to sound like a woman? Check this out.
But no, it will have to be
but then
video also. It can't be just audio.
Arey, it's you're
Yeah, but they
naked.
shoot-
How can it be?
No.
They
But,
shoot you from your.
but
Acha,
then,
oh,
but then
right.
anyone can just shout and then nobody's getting waxed if it's
See,
audio.
unless you're
correct.
very well
Correct.
endowed, you should be okay. You know, they shoot just
Yeah.
the neck up.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with it. I'm
Yeah.
fine with
No,
it. The
there's-
pilot will be great. I just don't know about the second
Silverie, on the
episode.
other hand, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
occasionally
I'll hide.
it'll be seen near the collar area.
No, I'll be the producer. I'm not really involved.
I have an issue with the format. Shreyas. I think it's a great concept.
We lost
But
you on
what is
Chaminda
the-
Vas, so I don't know.
No,
Go
but
on.
but if you guys notice, Shreyas said tougher the questions, the more the
Painful.
strips go in. So
It's a
like what after
psychological
like the
sort of
third?
thing.
So, but she's the one
No,
asking the
Actually
question.
matches the
So
question.
I'll tell you.
Correlates it to the kind of pain and anxiety you're going to feel. That's it's a technique, bro.
I thought it was like I thought it's like the
it's
same
done in
person
politics
being...
as well. It's not a problem.
No,
not a new format
no,
thing.
Cyrus, I like an idiot thought it's the same person but being waxed over and over again. Like
But
the
that's
third
what it is.
question,
No,
there
it is.
nowhere-
You are waxed over and over again. So there's like an area. There's one level of waxing. After that, there's so much hair that there's a second, and then there's a third. You
And
know.
then if you make through
Then
it, if
by
you
the-
make it through,
by
how
the
much do you
tenth
win?
question, then
How much do you win?
You
Yeah.
think it could actually replace tax? Now, they say, now we will have you wax. You know, it's like now we have.
No,
make
but
the citizens
I think
pay.
people
But
will
Shreyas,
start
by
paying
the
tax
time-
more.
Income tax.
Oh,
Income
you think
tax.
like in countries like Saudi Arabia, instead of like public executions, if you had public waxing, that could also be a good punishment.
Bro, if I kill my
It's
uncle,
not as bad.
if I kill my
But
uncle,
it's a
you
good
can't remove my pubes, right? It doesn't make sense. You know, I mean,
you can, no?
I mean,
I'm saying no.
justice has
I'm
some
saying
sense to
it's
it.
a good alternative. Like, don't kill.
Seven-time
just
mass
take out-
murderer. Welcome him to the arena,
Do-
ladies and gentlemen.
Do forceful
With
poisonings
Shreyas
instead.
eyebrows.
Cyrus, that's a
Sweet,
win-win,
sweet.
right? No, assuming your uncle is someone you wanted to kill and hence an asshole. Basically, you're getting rewarded for killing your uncle with a nice wax.
Fair enough.
It's a good deal.
So it's not. It's justice
Yeah.
in reverse, in a sense. You're being rewarded. Okay, I like it. I like your thinking.
Okay.
But don't we have a real topic?
Yes,
Because
please,
you
let's
hijacked
get
the
to
entire show with a
one-
boy-zillion.
One topic, please.
Why is it not called a girl-zillion then?
It's because Brazilian.
But then we should get a country too. I feel sexist about it. I mean, they got a country. Why couldn't we get a country? I mean, we could get like
We should
Eritrea.
call
We
it
could
the.
get whatever.
Hey,
I
we
don't
should
know. It
just
doesn't
for
have to be a
kicks-
famous country.
Cyrus,
It could be a
just
new
for kicks,
country.
we should call it the Saudi Arabian for guys.
Yeah. Or what about the new Finland?
So
What
you know,
about
like I'm sure it's actually called boy Brazilian, right? But it's boy-zillion in short.
that? Boy Brazilian sounds like a pedophile racket. I would
Yeah.
be very worried about being involved with a boy Brazilian group. By
It
the
sounds
way,
like a 90s pop band.
Yeah, we were great. We were big. When Murli was big, when Chaminda
Okay.
Vas had those good figures, we were great.
Alright.
All right.
Let's do-
We
let's
do
do.
have a topic.
Okay,
about
next
it, yeah.
topic.
Wait, I just want to show one last.
You're showing the
No,
boy-zillion?
I'm not showing anything. This
Oh my
is
God.
Cactus. It's a
This is
cactus.
the
It's a
image
This
cactus.
is after the boy-zillion. My God.
This is the image they sent me a month after it.
Oh,
Okay.
wow, they're smart. Nice.
Because afterwards they were like, "You'll come next month, right?" I
Yeah,
said, "No,
because-
I'm never coming back again." Okay, sorry. Continue.
Okay.
Let's
You
go
won't
on to
go
the
again?
topics.
But you've tasted blood. So do you like it like that or you like it with the hair?
It's fun. I just wanted to try it out how it feels, and I'm like, okay, now I.
So honestly, what do
I
you
think-
like? Personally, what?
No, Cyrus. Shreyas is waiting for that special someone. To
That special someone is the one who removed the hair. And then she said, talk to your friend. So that didn't work out. Could you understand the social issue here? He has to go back. She shaves him 4 times. Doesn't want to have a chat with him. It's really embarrassing. So sad. Really. Even the payment is Paytm. You have to do it from far away. It's pointless. All right, we have a topic.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
So actually, the topic relates very well to what happened to Shreyas
Really, I
this
can't
past
believe it.
weekend.
This is not
Let's
possible.
hear it.
So basically, I'll just show you the video and I'll tell you what's happening in the video, and then you'll agree that this is what happened to Shreyas also.
Sriram has fallen
Put the video.
asleep,
No, I'm right here.
but your eyes are elsewhere.
Okay. Yep.
Is he
So this
waxing
is at an
himself?
ATM. At an ATM,
Huh.
some thieves decide, hey, a cool way to break into an ATM and take money from an ATM will be, wait for it, use
Bulldozer.
an excavator.
Oh,
Yeah.
the same guys who seen at
Wow.
Jangir
Yeah.
Puri after some time, no? Sorry.
Exactly. That was
Sorry.
our bulldozers are being used
But
for.
what is he trying to do?
He's excavating the ATM.
But I feel you see two sides of humanity. You see one place where people who hate are using bulldozers, and this is you're seeing it used for a productive.
I feel like this is what
Reason.
happened to you this week, boy-zillion.
You're telling me that he's able to type his numbers in like that? I struggle with my fingers. So this guy's fantastic, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
But is that
Shame only 10 grand
ATM
at a time back in the day.
How much money is there in the ATM? I'm
There
sure
was-
JCB costs more,
There was
right?
like
Getting it.
28 lakhs.
But he
in
can't
the
take
ATM.
28 lakhs out.
I mean, yeah, not after taking the ATM, he can do whatever the hell he wants.
That's
What are you
cheating,
talking
bro.
about?
He was using the finger
One time,
technology.
that's too
If
much.
Finger technology is not
Yeah.
fair. He
Yeah.
has to come back. He has to keep coming back.
The problem is, you know what? Even then, no, right behind that bulldozer, there's a person standing. Sir, jaldi karo na. hum log
Or just a bad body language. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a
Come
line.
on.
There's like a 1 hour long line behind. Arey, come
Yeah.
chalega yaar ye ATM.
That
Like fights happening.
passive aggression.
It's
in
like
the line.
demonetization all over again.
We should do something in the passive aggression lines. When people are unhappy with you in front, they don't say anything. Nobody wants to have a conflict, but they just show it with their shoulder. Or,
क्या time हो रहा है?
Yeah.
Ooh, breathing heavy.
हो
and
गया
all
क्या?
that.
आपका हो गया क्या?
Indians, I tell you. The news is hilarious. The JCB was also stolen and then it got stuck. Oh.
Wow.
So they first stole the JCB. Look at the thinking here. This is creative genius.
Amazing.
You get
I
yourself
love
a
it.
bulldozer and your first thought is, let's go to the ATM.
And then it got stuck in a pothole. That's why they left it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The BMC always wins, or whichever
That's insane,
municipal
no?
corporation, they always win. You can't
So,
beat them.
yeah. So just for in case listeners were tuning in and we forgot to describe the video, it was basically thieves using a bulldozer
Yeah.
to basically claw an ATM out of the ATM booth and take the ATM with them. And
Will the cash
then let's 2 or 3 kilometers away, they got stuck in a pothole or something, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
And,
And just for the listeners-
and they abused the municipal corporation for not doing good work. No civic sense. I feel it's wrong with this country. Yeah. I can't go ahead in life.
Those are the biggest villains in this story. That the roads need to be constructed well.
A common criminal also can't get peace of mind.
What
yeah.
if the ATM was in Jahangirpuri? No, it wasn't. But it could have been. It could have been. It was actually in Maharashtra in
We've
Sangli.
never left that wax,
Yeah.
that waxing story where pain, pathos, anger, anguish all come together. Lovely. Fantastic. You're all poets today. Mr. Gurgaon, I think it's 11
Yes,
o'clock. We
sir.
need to get into AMAs now.
Yes, please, yes,
Because
please.
We actually have
Yeah.
people listening today.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know. Don't
The
say
bots
wow.
sound.
When you say wow, it's like somebody won the French Open. It's not really that big. Yeah.
Okay.
Go on, sir.
Yes.
Love fighting?
We've got you covered.
Check out our show, The Fighting Goat, where we, the voices of the internet, Arjun Chipalkatti and Somesh Kamra, bring to you crazy weekly action on your favorite combat show, The Fighting Goat.
Be it commentary, breakdown, predictions, analysis of styles and techniques.
And of course, your round of favorite fighters.
You can listen to us every Thursday on the IBM Podcast app, website, and all major podcast streaming platforms.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me.
Ruben David has asked, should the World Cup T20 squad be picked on IPL form? If so, what happens to the likes of Rohit and King Kohli?
Well, we have that June. We are going to England for one test and a few 50 overs, 20
South
overs
Africa.
games, South Africa, etc. So there's enough post IPL to decide. But at the moment, the big question is, the elephant in the room is Rishabh Pant, Dinesh Karthik. If we had to play today, I think there's no question DK goes. And I'm not saying that because Stam Bram and Sriram is very parochial. But quite frankly, you're looking at form, bro. No, one sec. Hear me out.
Okay.
You're looking at form. You're selecting for the weekend because T20 is for the weekend. There's no point thinking 10 years down the line.
I don't think they'll take, but I don't think DK purely for the age factor. I still feel there's Sanju Samson, there's
I
Ishan
agree. I
Kishan.
think Sanju Samson's right there as well in the mix. But the point of the matter is that for that World Cup, as a finisher, batting at 6, he fulfills that role more than anybody
That's
else.
fair. That's fair. That's
And
fair.
Rishabh
Yeah.
is neither here nor there at the moment. So Sanju could come in at 3, which means Virat Kohli is
Yeah.
in trouble. And frankly, he is. At the moment, he is in T20. Because where do you
But
fit,
I feel I think at
where do you fit Rohit
all
Sharma
of
at the
these
moment?
guys-
The greatest white ball batsman of his generation. Where do you fit him?
Oh no.
How? KL Rahul can't be touched. Okay. Then who are you
Yeah,
looking at?
him and KL Rahul.
Are you sure? There are about 6 applicants right now. Where do you put Surya Kumar Yadav? Where do you put DK? Where do you put Rishabh Pant? Where do you put Padikkal if he gets a little bit more form?
No,
Gaikwad has fallen
I
off.
feel Padikkal and all are pretty
Okay, so he's
down
not at the
the.
moment, but there's still matches to come. I'm saying these young guys are going to be, charging. It's not going to be that easy.
Yeah, I think that's the
Then
thing. I
Sanju
think
Samson.
the question though
Sanju
was
Samson. You just
the
mentioned.
question though was based on IPL form. Would you pick the T20 World Cup squad?
There's
You
right?
can just tell me who you want in your team. I'll tell my uncle. We don't need to discuss
He's no
so
longer in
much.
power. And secondly, give them all boy-zillions, and whoever can perform best under those kind of conditions, I think they should go, frankly.
Yeah, basically, okay. But Cyrus, would you pick the T20 World Cup squad based on IPL performance? Just
No.
pure meritocracy and
But
nothing
it'll
else?
count because it's only 3 months more. October, how much 4 months more after that. So
Yeah.
what will count is everything, but it'll count. It'll definitely count. So if DK continues to perform, they pick him for June,
Yeah.
July for the tour of England.
Yeah.
Then they pick
No,
him
no,
for
but
that.
no,
Both of them play,
Cyrus-
and then he outperforms Rishabh. Then what do you do? I'm saying, just look at it. Look at it.
Cyrus, then would you go hardcore? Would you go 100% hardcore and be like only IPL form of that year would be considered? Nothing else.
But that's ridiculous. Yeah. No, how can I do that, bro? Come on.
I think that's partly how I think the USA does it for the basketball Olympics.
But they don't even care about the Olympics.
But that
Do they
doesn't
really
matter,
care?
no?
They
What form
don't.
is your current
That's the
form?
thing.
Whatever indicator of that is.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So that's
we've
what
got
I'm saying.
Hardik.
Like,
Hardik
the
has to come in
USA
as a batsman on present form. So there, it's getting tough.
He-
That middle order. Just look at it. Surya SKY
Yeah.
can't be touched. Hardik can't be touched. That's 4 and 5 gone already. 6 I bring in DK.
No, I think Hardik
7 I
can
got
be
Jadeja.
touched.
This is all fixed, bro. Where are you going to put people?
Wait, Akshay K is saying if you're selecting Rohit, then you select Kohli. Cyrus, you are just Mumbai lobby. You are being accused of being the Mumbai lobby.
I love Mumbai. I love Rohit and I love Virat, but I'm worried for them in T20. I wouldn't touch them in 50 and full test matches, of course. But in T20, these kids are all over the place now. And there are lots of names coming out of the hack. Look at the bowling. That Umran is bowling at 154. I would like him in the team, whatever happens. That means Umesh goes out. Umesh has had a very good
he'll
IPL.
get clobbered in the international state size of Umran.
You're all about regionalism and all that. You finished with Sri Lanka and
You
you're
know
after
that-
Kashmir. Look at the way he behaves.
You know that. I mean, like, it's just in the IPL, most Indian batsmen can't deal with pace, but generally, I think the norm is that they're kind of okay.
Anyway, time will tell. We can't waste time doing a cricket show here because Silverie is bored and gone to sleep. He's manscaping himself
Yeah,
to
correct.
kill time. There's a limit to what we
I'm
can
done. I'm done. Finish also.
do. But just want to mention that if Man U lose 4-0 to Liverpool, we know where football is heading in terms of the iconic clubs of the world. All right, I'm sorry for all Man U supporters out there.
Yeah.
Just to say that it looks like it's about time you have 2 minutes silence. Don't worry about Virat and Rohit Sharma alone. Also worry about Man U. I don't see a great future in the near future. But Shreyas, as our resident football expert, will tell us.
I think football is going to die out in the next 6 years. That's my bold prediction. No one is going to play football.
Like the ISL, is it?
No, I
Just couldn't get behind it. Oh man, it's like a class issue, isn't it? All the rich kids of India, they all follow the La Liga and the EPL, etc., Bundesliga maybe, and ISL it is that. I hate to say it, but then as you go down the economic strata, it is followed. What the hell is going on? Somebody stop
No,
this.
but it is
Sriram, how much ISL do you watch?
very little. But I have watched it live. Having said that, the ISL is basically every footballer's
Retired fund.
post-retirement
Yeah,
plan.
yeah.
Not even like post-retirement.
But cricket has gone
They'll
the other way.
retire.
Like third innings.
They've
No.
retired their international duty,
Third
and
innings.
IPL is their
Exactly.
main thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's like with ISL, like footballers will retire, spend 3 years in the Greek Mykonos Islands, Then they'll get a call. Hey, you want to play for the ISL? And they'll like come in with their
At
chubby.
49, with half a lung, if
Yeah.
Messi comes to play for Goa United, I don't
they'll
know,
take
if
him.
it's quite...
FC Goa.
But I
They
actually-
will, but I mean, really?
I have a solution for how
No.
to make footballers big in India. I think if you just take the best footballers and have them play a
Boy-zillion.
cricket tournament,
Boy-zillions?
Okay.
have them play a cricket tournament,
Yeah.
No,
I
or
think then
make
people will
cricketers
watch
play
it.
football. That'll be
They
even
do,
bigger.
and they played with a lot of passion. I've seen them
Sachin
play.
was really big on.
Dhoni was
Dhoni
really
is
good,
very
right?
good at football.
Really?
He was a
Yeah.
goalkeeper, I think.
Ranbir Kapoor
I
is
have-
better in football than he is at marriage, he said.
Oh.
His quote.
John Abraham and
I have
Arshad Varsi
seen-
are great at football.
I-
According to
yeah,
the big
by
goal,
the way- by the way,
Padmanabhan goal.
Arshad is not as good as John. John is actually very fast on the field and off the field also.
I have seen this is a YouTube video that exists of a cricketers versus Bollywood actors 11 football match that has happened. And the funniest part about that is the Bollywood celebs are clearly doing way better
Wow.
than the cricketers, purely because the Bollywood celebs have Shuja Shorkar in their team,
Shows
and
okay.
he is like killing it. He's playing
Shuja
like
Sarkar, the
left
director?
forward.
No, he's a Bengali. That's his
Yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah.
So if you have one Bengali, you
he's
win the
playing left
football match.
forward,
This guy,
putting-
from the beginning to the
exactly.
end, is about communalism. From the beginning.
No, no,
Malinga
no.
ko mara,
Hear me
Pulli
out.
ko mara, Sinhalese ko
Hear me out.
mara, uske piche Bihari ko mara. Then this guy doesn't stop. We got to stop this guy, yaar. He's really bad.
Hear me out, though, Cyrus. Hear me out. But
Are you
then the
part of
best
that group
part
that
is-
stopped the convent education whose name we can't remember? Oh, all stars versus all heart.
Exactly, it is that all stars was all hard because Virat, right?
Hmm.
Classic Virat. Things not going his way. He's trying to like do the late tackles, trying to rough people up and all. Except he realizes it's not cricket, it's football. It's still a team sport as such, right? Where so you roughing one person, roughing everyone else, you just get booked. You don't get like some special treatment.
But who won?
I think the Bollywood celebs were winning. In the end, I think they just somehow be like, "Chalo, let's do a tie game." So they,
Oh,
Yeah.
setting.
Damn.
yeah.
It's a match fixing.
They're like my marriage. Same thing. Yeah. At the end, we did setting. The Rahul Bose story. So we went to
Yeah.
Kato Ke Khiladi in Brazilians in 2000.
Oh yeah.
And you did. I don't know if you guys know, but you would take these yellow fever shots and one more shot when you enter there. When you enter South America, there are all kinds of rules. So the moment we enter the hotel, after a long journey of 28 hours, etc., we come to the hotel. The nurse is waiting. 3-4 nurses. They divide us into groups, and we have to go and do the shots. So I thought I don't like injections, so I'm feeling very worried and all that. And and she doesn't speak English. She's talking in Portuguese, and one interpreter is trying to explain to us. And so Rahul in our group, Alpha Rahul, gets up and says, "Okay, I'll do it." And he pulls down his pant and bends like that for her to do the shot.
And she like
Starts screaming like reverse rape, and we're like, "What happened?" And in Portuguese, we find out later she's saying, "What's wrong with him? Why is he taking his pants off?" And she just put it in the shoulder.
Yeah,
It was like, she didn't even remove the shirt. It was like chuck and that's it. And I was like, and
I
Rahul was okay. Pant on her.
No, I think that might be a sportsman thing.
That's so
Sportsmen
funny.
get a lot of injections in their bums, no?
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong.
To his
Oh,
credit,
wait.
Yeah.
he wanted to save time, and he's quite
Yeah.
he's quite
Yeah,
young.
exactly
So
what I was
like,
going to
"Forget
say.
this,
There
why
is
you
no
guys-"
way.
I was like covering in the
He
room,
just
thinking
He
whatever
just
they.
wanted to show the other guys his toned butt. Like, guys,
Trust
this
me, that's not the group
this
you want to
is
show. your
India's
phone,
ass.
but-
Like Captain America. Okay.
Uh,
We'll do one last question. If you don't mind.
I feel that's no way to treat our
brand
greatest
ambassador.
rugby player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Sriram, you.
Rugby player.
Sriram, he'll take you, huh? He's an old man now, but he's tough as bricks. He'll take you in 2 minutes. You will have
He
some
can
good jokes on your way to the
do, like,
hospital.
he can-
Yeah.
He could age another 30 years in India.
That's true. That's fair to say, and thank God for that. Yeah.
Like his deathbed, he can take me. Let alone like.
All right.
All right.
last one.
VB says, please talk about how Johnny Depp is being abused by a narcissistic
Yeah.
partner and his
See, the
reputation is
poop-
maligned by
We
the
began with
tabloids.
poop.
And
Let's
like-
end with poop.
Yeah. Men who are abused emotionally are victim shamed even in India.
So can I?
Suddenly I imagine.
You are aware of the whole
suddenly I
Johnny Depp
imagine
matter?
Of course,
this-
and I'll
Yeah.
tell you, my mother.
Yeah.
What's wrong with mothers?
She's live streaming it.
Following the story and telling me
Oh.
everything all the
Oh,
time.
wow. What?
I'm like, Mom, there's Ukraine.
Your
We've got
mom has-
Jahangir Puri. I mean, something I don't know what
But
to
she
say.
knows Johnny Depp, or because of just the story so big, she's
No,
gone
this is
into
the
it?
problem with us is that stars,
Yeah.
the gossipy thing is just the lower is too much.
Can't
So
have it, yeah.
it goes into top of the. It's the Will Smith, Chris Rock. Actually, what's the big thing in the story? The two guys had a fight, nothing more. But
Yeah.
it just took over, right?
Yeah.
So this is also taking over. But actually, again, it's just another bloody dirty divorce. Literally dirty,
It
etc.
is. It is
In the
shame,
fullness
yeah.
of news, it doesn't stand anywhere, man. It's rubbish.
Yeah. that's true.
Yeah. Rishabh Pant misbehaving is much more, actually, in terms of news. But yeah.
Yeah.
But she basically, like, the accusations are that she ruined his career by just accusing him of physical abuse and
His
mental
character,
abuse.
not just his
the
career.
character,
Huh.
all of that. And he is basically,
Pirate
I think
character.
I think he's going to clear his name after the
He's got a lot of support
Yeah, a
from
lot
what
of
we can
support.
gather.
It's
Yeah,
seeming like
people are making like cute fan cams of like
Dude,
his funny
no.
moments in
this has
court.
been
But
going
she's-
on for the last 6-7 months.
Oh,
where
really?
YouTube channel after YouTube channel has already like been analyzing body language. They've already had court hearings before.
Oh.
So people have been studying those court hearings also, and this is the latest
About
series of court
5-7
hearings.
years back, I got a call from a gentleman, who, I can't remember his name, let's say Sriraam, who called up and said, bro, listen, I want to start this lobby of men who are harassed by women. Mostly through marriage and all that, with the other end of it, how we have suffered and all that.
Like
And I
taking
read-
advantage for
Yeah,
alimony.
so I
after
read
divorce
your
and all that,
articles
yeah.
and I've heard you
Right, I've
talk
heard
and
that,
all,
yeah.
and I think
Vice has done the
you have the same problem as me, like that we are bashed by women all the time. I said, bro, listen, I'm an out of work comedian. Okay, it's just all tongue in cheek. My wife's not really that bad, and whatever beating I have received, it'll be much worse if I go on record and join your union. But he was serious. He wanted to start this whole group.
Wow.
But now when you see these kind of stories, there's a small minority of men who really suffer. It looks like the poop story was too much for me.
I do.
Wait, what was the poop story? I don't
Sorry,
think I saw
She
this.
pooped on his bed.
Basically, she pooped on
Right?
his
Like
bed.
it's like the It's Always Sunny thing. Like who pooped the bed? Like it was
Wait,
Amber Heard.
pooped on
She
his
pooped-
Like an
bed?
infant.
There was a
like
there was a piece
Pierrot's.
of poop in the bed.
Wow.
Her
And
own
she
fingers.
broke his finger. Like he had to get his finger severed.
That's another thing. That's
Yeah.
a vodka bottle and all this. Another story.
Yeah.
But this poop story was like, what's wrong with her?
That's great.
Dude, but there are a lot of things where you go. So
They
just
have
yesterday,
They have Western style toilets in
just
that
yesterday,
house. It doesn't make any sense.
just yesterday I was listening to
here's
the
my-
case and sorry, Sriraam, one second. So Johnny Depp was on the stand. They had taken the stand yesterday, and they were asking him, and they were playing all these like conversations that they've recorded. Okay, that I think Johnny Depp has recorded between him and Amber Heard. Okay, where she is so angry and just shouting and like trying to get her way, and he's trying to say, no, I just want to leave. She's like not letting him
But
leave.
it's coming across. It may not be correct, but it's coming across like she's nuts and
She's
really
nuts.
mean,
But
mean
again-
person.
But again, see, like it's the thing that we've talked about before, right? If you know you're the one being recorded, you are always, like more
Yep.
calm, So if he's
Yep.
obviously the one. See, one of them is recording
I
it.
agree with you. That's
One
what
of them
I'm
is
saying.
recording it for
What
sure.
I'm saying is that we are only seeing her in her worst.
Yeah.
I always hide my domestic violence stuff when this podcast is on. So
Yeah.
you know that, right?
Because
Anyways,
your
but,
hair doesn't look
Yeah.
like this before you met your wife. That's for sure.
No, it
It's a
doesn't.
clean
It
cut,
doesn't.
suit, boot,
Have-
executive.
My biggest concern is that this has gained so much media attention.
Yeah, really.
You feel that this is going to be the next thing that some like all the other
Putin was
celebrities would go after.
exasperated, Sriram. He said, what else can I do?
Yeah.
I killed a country. What else can I do?
Exactly.
How can I
What
get
else
to
was-
attention?
Yeah,
Or, like,
Really?
what else
What
am I
else?
supposed
What
to
do you want me to do,
League,
guys? I'm nuke. Should I nuke?
which is oddly which underlines Putin's point that there's way too much Western propaganda or Western
too
control of the media,
Yeah.
right? And here's a guy who's like, I'm going to nuke Ukraine. Yet the world and the Western media, hey guys,
She shit on the
Amber
bed.
Heard-
And there's an underlying
She
message.
shit on the bed.
Hollywood shouldn't point fingers about toilet training to Bollywood. They've done very often in the past. That has to end that finger pointing. Enough is enough.
Yes.
What was Will Smith doing here exactly? We still haven't cracked the case except
Came
maybe
to meet
Sadhguru.
Sadhguru. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the.
But Sadhguru said, look, I have a bike. So don't try to sell me shit, man.
Wait, what? Will Smith came to meet Sadhguru?
Yeah, he was
That's
in
right.
Bombay 2 days ago.
He was here for a few days and elsewhere outside Bombay as well.
Also.
Not very clear exactly where all he's been to find his inner self.
Why invite him now for this?
At the moment, it's the only gig he got.
That is so that's so non-committal on his part. Like, at least the Beatles went all the way till Rishikesh.
Yeah, he was in Chakala.
He just came.
Will Smith was found.
Yeah, he came to Chakala to activate his
No, that-
chakras.
No,
that is just.
that's penance, no? For something bad that's done in your life, you go to Chakala.
He was exiled to India.
He was told by the Baptist church there, you go to Chakala. And then he got confused with Hindu mysticism and now he's all over the place. You know, he's like my chakras and my chakras and everything's going all over the place.
And when he goes back, it'll be the prodigal son returns. Oh, he's
He's going to grow his hair and go back just to, make her feel bad. Sorry.
I feel if he truly,
He's been in
wants,
solidarity with her
penance.
for years, though, man.
Tarun Kaushik says, Will Smith came to meet Sadhguru to save soil, not rocks. Oh, it's an internet guy.
Oh.
Yeah, Tarun, welcome to our show.
All right.
Yeah.
I think if he truly wants to gain penance
Penance?
next time.
The boy-zillion has changed the course of our show. Bolo.
Next time, Chris Rock will make a joke about his wife, he'll go up on stage and just slap himself.
But did you hear the Marolo Chakala is like
Is it-
Rishikesh?
wow. Like,
No
wow.
less. You got to punch up.
What?
I mean, they couldn't be more
We
far
need a one
removed from
Tendulkar or
Rishikesh or
Kohli,
other.
one of these guys, one of these greats of India to come from a Marol and just shut you guys up.
For sure.
And forever, it'll be, and he'll carry it. How Dhoni
Hey, by
carried
the way,
Ranchi on his shoulders, you know.
It's-
and
By the way,
Ranchi is so
guess-
hip
It's
now.
just never gonna
guess
happen
where-
only. Like
I
nobody
know, if
even thinks
I
a good
hope-
cricketer can come out
I
of Marol.
hope The great,
There I
the
said
great
it.
cricketer comes out of Marol and he's born on Christmas Day and his birthday is called a Christmas Marol.
Cyrus, you know,
Sorry,
guess
sorry,
where
sorry.
Surya Kumar Yadav comes from?
Marol? Chembur.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chembur boy. And
That's why his name is Surya SKY, no? They just are calling him SKY. I'm sure nobody else calls him SKY. He's just Surya at home and SKY.
yeah.
Sky.
Apparently, Gautam Gambhir is the one who coined the sky phrase.
Right, because he's taller. Look at the. Okay, fine. Leave it.
All right.
Are we done?
Yes, we're done.
Sriram, please go and get a proper
Yeah.
job now. Enough of this crap. One day you'll get your boy-zillion and you'll walk with men like us proudly. As we end the telecast, we must say don't forget to download the Jupiter Money app on the Apple Store, the Google Play Store, and we'll leave you with a visual of young Manohar with the boy-zillion. Stand up, beta. Be proud. What devotional music shall I play in the background?
No, oh my god.
Veena. Play the Veena.
It's
This is-
hey, for the full transparency, it's important.
Again, he's doing a Rahul
I
Bose. He's
think
taking off the shirt. Again, she said clearly, it's 2 inches of area, brother. 2 inches.
I genuinely feel bad for Shreyas. In order for this podcast to run, we are exposing his phone number, his
Yeah.
asshole area.
But the best part is the girl, she left him. The one who said.
She blocked me after that. She I haven't seen her after.
Yeah.
Empathy doesn't help. All right. Bye-bye. Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you. We need you. Send us your questions on Twitter on Cyrus Says In. Or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey where you can fill out the survey.
What is the workplace and how does your gender and body affect your right at work? Hey, I'm Priya Mirza, and on the Longest Constitution podcast, we critically examine the vision of the Indian Constitution and laws. In season 1, we looked at sex, gender, sexuality in India, and the landmark judgments which transformed our rights as citizens in this country. In season 2, we discussed the laws which shape the workplace and examine how ability, competence, and merit impact us, and much more.